So it's been a minute since I've done videos online. I took a break for, I guess, 6 or 7 years. I used to have a really big following on Facebook. It, I need to brush my teeth. Anyways, it was for the wrong reasons, right? The following, and I was so addicted to upping my own following that it just became not about people and helping. It became about competition for myself and an addiction to doing better than I did the day before. So I stopped. But lately I've been doing research, I guess is the way to call it. I don't know. But I've been working on myself a lot. And what I wanted to talk to you guys today was my latest discovery into letting go of attachments. I've been doing a lot of mindfulness. I've been in trauma therapy. I don't think many people know this, but I think I'm just going to start throwing it out there because I'm done hiding. And I'm done hiding from the people in the area that know. When I was a kid, I was definitely part of some kind of kiddie porn ring. And, pictures were taken, and I was taken to meet men for pop. And there was a lot of shit that happened. I was abused, of course, for many, many years. Grooming, by the way, is not what most people think. Even a lot of you people might think that it's about, I have psoriasis and a lot of bruising. It's an autoimmune thing. You have to just ignore that. If you can't, too bad. Anyways, so I just saw it, like on the picture, that you can really see, right? I don't know if anyone's had glutathione psoriasis, but they leave the wickedest scars. They're kind of crazy. They do fade over time, but the ones that really are deep, like the purple ones, when I was a kid, I already had this, right? Because it was part of trauma. It was a trauma release. And my stepdad told my mother, oh, she's just scratching her mosquito bites. And it never crossed her mind, like, why the same mosquito bite would be there for like 6 weeks. And of course, my mother worked 2 jobs, and, she was always busy, and my stepdad was never around, and whatever. And he sold her on a lot of crap about how doctors and basically anyone with authority was bad. That's one part of grooming, is the isolation, right? Everyone. You get isolated from your parent that is safe, right? My mom was my safe parent. I got isolated from her. And she was also equally isolated from me. Being shamed and guilted in any kind of affection or love that might have supported me or given me the strength to speak up was denied her and me. And then the other part of grooming was like, he taught me how to brush my hair and how to wash my face and what clothes to wear and how to, dress nicely. And if I didn't eat properly, or if I, was gross, when I was like 4 or 5, he put me on a table and I had to face eating the wall because he didn't want the image he had of me to be ruined, right? Yeah, I mean, grooming goes so far. There's so many aspects to it. I can't, and everyone's grooming will be a bit different depending on their situation and what they suffered. But the reality of it is it's not what you think. It's so gradual, and it could even look like parenting. It could even look like, people's morals or values, and it's not. It's really not. It's protection, ways to keep themselves safe, right? Make the kids fear talking to anybody but them. They're their only savior. Anyways, so because of that, it brings me to my research into attachment. Because the biggest part for me of my trauma is letting go of my attachment to ideas and concepts that were programmed into me that aren't mine. But it's brought me to an interesting conclusion. I don't need to just let go of my attachments for the things and ideas and concepts that were taught to me that hurt me. I really need to let go of my attachment for pretty much everything. It's like really freeing. Like, if I don't try to attach a taught definition of the word love, then my idea of love becomes so open and so accepting, and I'm willing to explore other ideas and other people's views of it. And then, you know, you don't get that friction. You don't get that. It's just really interesting. I really recommend Aaron. I'll put a link down below. He's a guy I've been listening to about attachment. And he also talks about IFS and internal family, or internal, well, he called it internal family. I call it internal family systems. He called it, I think, internal solar system or something. I forget. You have to listen to him. But it's similar concept where like parts of us are we have to discover the parts of us that either we've locked away to keep ourselves safe, or we have to, you know, just meet them with compassion and curiosity without that attachment that they're bad or that they're good. Like, here's an interesting idea. Tell yourself you have no bad parts. No bad parts. The part that you're like, oh, I hate that part because it gets jealous. Why does that part get jealous? Right? Why is it jealous? Why don't you approach that part of you with curiosity and maybe some compassion? Be like, man, you must be hurting. What's up? Why do you hurt so bad, dude? Like, can I help you out? Why are you jealous? What are you afraid of? One of the deepest questions to ask is, what are you afraid of? It might be freaking scary to answer, but it could be freeing. So yeah, I'm gonna start making videos again, and mostly for myself. If you like them, follow along. Oh yeah, I found a feather, and it looks like, you know, probably a young seagull feather, but I like my feathers. I tend to stick them in my hair when I find them, whether it looks ridiculous or not. My kids love me. I also came home, even though I've been moved into town, because I needed help with housing, so, you know, I'm taking advantage of what I can. So I'm in town now, and it's really funny because even in town, I come home from walking the dog, and somehow I managed to find myself a big white pine branch that had fallen off. So, you know, I'm going to cleanse my space of bad energies before we finish moving in. And I'm going to start letting go of stuff, and not just the past or emotions, but like my attachment to ideas and concepts that are only defined by the society that we live in, or by some preconceived assumption or notion that this is correct, right? Like, who says that every time my kids eat sugar, they're gonna get super hyper? I mean, I know biologically and scientifically it could be proven, but my kids actually don't. I mean, sometimes they do, but usually it's mixed with like something nasty, like synthetic red food dye or something shitty. But like natural sugar, like real raw sugar, I'm not talking like processed glucose, fructose, dextrose shit. I'm talking real sugar from a plant. Does not make them bananas. So, I don't know. I know people are like, no, she's got to be not noticing it. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to argue with you, I'll tell you that. But yeah, let this shit go. Let go of all ideas. Let go of attachment to all preconceived notions. And listen to that Aaron guy, because he says shit that I can't say yet, because he's way further along his journey than I am. So yeah, and know that all the stuff that we have been programmed to learn, whether it was through something shitty like mine, like some kind of trauma, or whether it was like even good, and maybe you even consider it healthy, like you enjoyed your Christian upbringing, right? Like there's lots of stuff people love about their childhood, but it doesn't mean that it's bad or good. It just is, and letting it go isn't bad or good. It just is. But think about it this way: any of my gamers out there, what if you could turn from playing a Final Fantasy example, right? What if Final Fantasy went from a game where you had to follow the storyline to a game where it was sandbox and you could fucking just go anywhere and do anything at any time, and you didn't have to meet the certain characters at the certain time in the storyline, right? I'm sorry, if you're not a gamer, it's just another way to think about it is a restaurant. Anyone who's eaten at an open restaurant where you can, like, say, grab a ticket and go from booth to booth and get like all your different stuff, that's like an open concept, right? You can just go to this booth, get some Chinese, go to that booth. Like Marché down Toronto is great. So another concept, you know, is that you have to stand in line at a buffet and you only get what's there. Yeah, you could be open and free and wander around and find all kinds of crazy stuff if you don't have attachment, right? freaking right. I want to see what's out there. Fuck attachment. What's next? Want to come?